Miss Klein asked her first grade students to draw something that they were thankful for. They drew things like turkeys and they drew a table that was full of food. But there was one student by the name of Douglas that drew something entirely different and surprising, not only to the teacher, but to everyone else. He drew a picture of a hand. Again, not only did it capture the attention of the teacher, but everybody else. And some of the students were saying it was the hand of God that came to feed everybody. And then there was another student that said it was a policeman's hand willing to protect everybody. And then another one said it was a farmer who was raising the turkeys. But yet, as the students lost interest and the teacher started them on something else, she couldn't help but come to Douglas's desk and saying, "Douglas, whose hand did you draw?" And he bowed his head and he mumbled and he said, "It was yours, teacher." And then the teacher reflected and remembered how that from time to time, because evidently Douglas was a little bit shy, he was a little bit backwards, and from time to time that teacher would grab his hand and either guide him out to the playground or guide him to the lunch deal or to the lunchroom. And so it was that in this story today, I wanted to tell you, just like Douglas, there are things that happen to us that it's nothing major, it's something small. But yet it was this thing that Douglas was thankful for. And I want to leave with you today during Thanksgiving. Sometimes it's not the material things. It's not the big things. And I talked about little as much if God is in it. And I want to parallel that also with this story of how that there was once a whole lot of people, and they had followed Jesus for several days. And they got out to a particular place to where that they were just there. And Jesus asked his disciples, he said, "What are we going to do? How are we going to take care of these people?" And they had all kind of excuses. But Andrew said, "Well, there's a boy here who's got 2 small fishes and 5 loaves." And so it was that Jesus took that bread and he did one thing. Again, I want you to remember in the book of John, in the 6th chapter of John, he gave thanks. And once that he gave thanks, he took those loaves of bread and he broke them and those fish, and he fed 5,000 plus that day. And so I leave you with this today. Again, just a short thing of Thanksgiving holidays. Let us be thankful for the small things. And let us remember how, just like Douglas, it was that small thing that the teacher was not even aware that she did that made such an impact upon him. And as the hand of Jesus touched so many people, he actually touched a young lady and he touched her hand and raised her from the dead. There was others that Jesus touched their eyes and healed them. It is sometimes the power of touch. Again, it's the small things that can encourage people by putting a hand on their shoulder and encouraging them and saying everything's going to be all right. It is the power of touch today that we can do. Again, it doesn't take money to do that. It doesn't take prestige, but it just takes a simple, heartfelt meaning in saying, "Hey, everything is going to be okay." So be thankful today in everything that you do or say. God bless you and thank you, and we'll see you next week.